Francis. Santa. Oh, hello. Well, this is new. We've got a TikTok on this side and an Instagram on this side. Well, what the heck? It's Christmas. Let me pull up a chair. I'm Santa Pool. Nice to see you. Can everybody hear me on each live here? Let me grab a chair here. Oh. Well, good to see you all. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa. Santa Pool, good to see you. Yeah. I'm here. Well, glad that you're all here. I've got a nice tree. I'm going to turn this way a little bit. So, how's everyone's holidays? Was it as prickly as mine? I have a friend with a couple knives for hands that I spent my time with. Love your sweater. Thank you. This is for branding. I have a friend named Kate, told her I'd wear this for her. Don't know who this guy is. Bet you all can't guess. Breaking the fourth wall always. It's a part of the bit, you know? Now, in honor of Tiny Tim, who did not die, we're going to take a moment of silence. Can you all believe that Christmas is over? I sure can't. We're going to read lots of stories today, ones that I've picked for all of you. And my favorite one is called Wolverine. Or Elf, as some of you like to call it. But you know, that's fine. Everything's going to be great. How's Deadpool, my little Mary Poppins? She's doing great. She's got a new papa. And we're sitting together, enjoying our existence in the MCU. All thanks to you all and the fans. We have it all to thank you. You thought Ryan Reynolds was the mystery guest? Well, what if I told you I was Ryan Reynolds? What would you say to that? Do I know Agatha? You know, maybe one of these days we could get a cameo together and break the fourth wall. She did break it one time. It was pretty cool. All right, let's see. Oh, it's already 2:02. What are we to do now? All right, we've got lots to do, my friends. We're going to read this. But we'll start at 2:05 because I really want to start at 2:05 because I have a lot that I want to talk to you all about. First of all, has anybody seen a man named Logan? The Wolverine? I've been trying to reach him about his car's extended warranty for about 20 days now. Oh, and my friends with the Spider-Man. Me and Spidey, we go way back. Of course. Oh, people having a massive fight outside, so you woke up. Well, sounds like my typical Tuesday. All right. Well, any other questions for Santa Pool before we get started today? And the comments are slowing and slowing. You've got me right here. We can talk all day about whatever. Can everybody hear me okay, by the way? This is a new mask. Just got to make sure the audio's good. Favorite holiday snacks? Popcorn balls. They're very delicious. The tree is so cool. I heard this is Groot's cousin. Loud and clear, like what I like to hear there. All right, good. Audio's good. I'm glad. Well, welcome to Stories with Deadpool, or as Jess calls it on her TikTok, Spidey Stories. Now, the problem here is, this is a Spider-Man event. And as you can see, I'm not the one with the web face. So we've got a little bit of difference here from our little web menace, as our good friend J. Jonah Jameson would say back in the MCU. So, we're going to change it to Deadpool stories for today. What do we think of that? Yes, no, maybe so? I like to think it's a good idea. Avengers Campus could never, that's what I'm saying. You ever think anybody at Avengers Campus would wear a Hawkeye sweater like this for their Deadpool? I don't think so. This is true to the MCU. And I am Marvel Jesus. Alright, well, it's 2:04, so I guess we'll get started, and I'll read you Wolverine, aka Elf. I like to call it Wolverine because this is very much similar to our story. Alright. Nobody ever tells you that your gloves kind of make a problem when you're trying to read books, so let me get this straight here. Oh, here we go. Is everyone ready for a story? Let's do it. This is the story of Buddy the Elf, who saved Christmas. It's a story that began many years ago, or as I like to call it, the story of Deadpool. This is a story about a boy named Wade. I'm going to change the word. It's no longer about Buddy the Elf. It's about Wade the Elf. One Christmas Eve, Santa Claus slid down the chimney of an orphanage with a sack full of toys. Oh, get me tingly. While he was eating some cookies the children had left out for him, a little baby crawled into his sack. Baby Wade. And if you see right there, that's the Wolver Bear that he was going to give me for Christmas that year. And I was just so tantalized by the idea of hanging out with the Wolver Bear that I had to follow it into Santa's sack. Ooh. Oh. This story's already great. Now, if only I could flip the page the right way. On Christmas morning, Santa and his elves were celebrating another successful year of gift-giving when they heard a strange noise coming from the toy sack. It was a baby. Yes, Santa. And we all know who this is. Not Buddy the Elf. Not our good friend Will Ferrell. But me, Santa Pool. You're losing it? Well, I'm losing it too, Katie. All right, moving on. One of the older elves adopted the baby and named him Buddy. This is my good friend, Professor Charles Xavier. And he brought me to his house at the North Pole, the X-Mansion. Has anybody ever been there? I've been a few times now. Not really my favorite place to go, but I'll show up occasionally. Sorry, Instagram, I keep forgetting your screen's a little smaller than on TikTok, so I'm holding it over here, but I'll hold it here for you instead. All right. Although Buddy grew twice as fast, although Wade grew twice as fast, because I regenerate twice as fast as everybody else. No different from the other elf children, he had more Christmas spirit than anybody. All right, everyone, I'm going to read you the new code of the elves that I'm writing right on the spot here. The code of the X-Elves. Treat every day like X-Men Christmas. There's room for everybody on the Xavier Charles list. We have to say it backwards or else it doesn't count. The best way to spread Christmas cheer is lifting a radio above your head and playing it outside for your favorite Cyclops for all to hear. Now, I hope we all remember the code of the X-Men. It's very important for the rest of the story. Keep this in mind. All right, next page. wasn't always easy being an elf in a human's world, or a Deadpool in an X-Men world. Because Wade could never make toys as fast as the other elves could. I'm the worst toy maker in the world. I'm a cotton-headed ninny-muggins. Oh, you're not a cotton-headed ninny-muggins. You're just special. Hi, Ruby. All right. Wade did his best to fit in, but Papa Elf, aka Charles Xavier, knew that he had to tell Buddy the truth. Papa Elf told the story of how Buddy came to the North Pole, the X-Mansion, as a baby. His human father, Walter, never knew that Buddy was born. Walter lives in a magical place called New York City with his family. There it is, the F word. We said it, guys. Because like I said, this is a family story. Look at that. He even gave him a little snow globe. With the Avengers Tower. That's where we're headed because guess what? We're all Marvel Jesus here. Okay. But that wasn't all. Santa had one more surprise to tell little Buddy. Your father, he's on the nice list. We only like people on the naughty list here, okay? We're all naughty. I all know you're naughty. And we all know I'm naughty too. Plot twist, he's on the nice list. I'm changing it up here. Some people just lose sight of what's important in life, Santa explained. That doesn't mean he can't find his way again. Maybe all he needs is a little bit of X-Men spirit. And so that's what we're going to bring to him, the X-Men spirit. Everybody get ready. It's coming. Okay. Buddy said goodbye to Santa, the elves, and Papa Elf. He knew that they would always be there for him. Well, goodbye, Professor Charles Xavier. Thank you for raising me. But now it's time to go to the Time Variance Authority and take back my Logan and save my universe because I am Marvel Jesus. Here we go. Buddy traveled through the 7 layers of the Sokovian candy cane forest, past the sea, a swirly-twirly gumdrops, and the raft. And then he walked through the Lincoln Tunnel, which actually is in the MCU, so I'm going to leave that the way it is. Because that's a part of New York City. For those of you who may not have ever been. Oh, good old New York. The smell of pee and joyful yelling all over the city. It's what I love about it the most. It's such a dirty place. All right. Buddy quickly learned that New York City was a magical place. He made new friends, got his shoes shined, ran through a revolving door, and played hopscotch on the sidewalk. Sounds like a typical Tuesday for your boy Deadpool here. Oh, yeah. Finally, Buddy went to see his father, who worked in an office building, the Empire State Building, or as I like to call it, Avengers Tower 2. Okay. But Buddy's dad didn't want to see him. He didn't believe that Buddy was his son, or an elf, or an X-Men. And then he ordered him to leave. Oh, Buddy Pool, what are you to do, my friend? It's so sad, all alone away from the X-Men, trying to meet your papa. Any guesses on who papa is? It's not Charles Xavier, because he was Papa Elf. I like to pretend that this is Happy Hogan, My real papa. And I did speak to him about giving me a chance, and he said, not today. But maybe I have another place to be, so let's see. Buddy left feeling a bit discouraged, but then he saw something that made him smile. A big TVA, all decked out for Christmas. I didn't even know they celebrated that there. It's kind of weird. Their whole thing's about how time doesn't exist at the TVA, because time isn't linear, and they're all about time. But I guess every day's Christmas at the TVA if you're just going to eat a key lime pie for every meal you've ever had. Hi there, how are you? I'm doing great. How about yourself? Yes to happy being your papa. I agree. He is my papa. Inside, a girl named Jovi, Wolverina, was decorating a Christmas tree, and Buddy was glad to meet another human who shared his appreciation of X-Men culture. Wolvie told him that Santa would be visiting the store the next day, and Wade was so excited to see Santa again. Oh, Santa, the only character in this story who stays the same. We love ya. Why are you wearing that shirt? Because I'm good friends with the Hawkeyes. And they were telling me they need good branding for the holiday season, so I told them, what the heck? I'm about to read on this mystery guest podcast. I guess you can give me a sweater or something. So they did. This one's Kate. This one's that guy with the stick that we don't really talk about. Moving on. All right, let me flip the page for you all. Here we go. Wade stayed up all night decorating the store in preparation for X-Men Santa's arrival. And you can't see it in this photo, but all of the snowflakes have different X-Men on them. It's my appreciation for X-Men culture. It's what I do when I go to visit the X-Mansion. Loving the new version of Elf, Wade, that's what this is all about, my friend. Changing it to be Deadpool themed. Because it's so much better that way. Alright. But when Santa arrived the next morning, Wade realized that this was an imposter. Oh no, you smell like beef and cheese. You're not the real Santa Claus. We all know the real Santa, the way he smells. Definitely worse than beef and cheese. If you're staying up all night going up and down the chimneys, not for me. All right, next page. Wade ripped off the fake Santa's beard, and all the children screamed. He caused such a ruckus that the store manager called Buddy's dad to pick him up. Buddy Pool, or Wade, or whatever you want to call him. He's just trying his best. Buddy met his dad's wife, Emily, and their son, Michael. Or as I like to say in the story, the wife is whoever Wolverine decides to be with in that moment, probably Jean Grey. And their son, Michael, Spider-Man. We sure do love having our little web boy here in the house. Or, for the sake of this story, I think that the son, Michael, should be Mary Poppins, Dogpool. So, that's who that's going to be in this story. At dinner, Wade told his family about the 4 main food groups that elves eat. Here's what the X-Men eat on the weekends. Eggs, chicken, and more eggs and chicken. It's really just 2 food groups. Protein, and some protein powder sometimes. They'll have some protein smoothies. They're all about bulking up before going on the mission. It's really important. Buddy had a whole list of things that he wanted to do with his dad. But Buddy's dad didn't want to do any of those things. All he wanted to do was work. Oh boy. Not great. Also, I'm realizing this is Happy Hogan, so it's really whoever Happy's dating. And then Dogpool. This came up on my For You page, and I'm so confused. What's so confusing about Deadpool or Santa Pool reading a little Christmas story to get into the holiday spirit? So Buddy went to work with his dad at the Avengers Tower. He tried coffee, which, by the way, is disgusting. The way the Avengers make it, they use the extra coffee grounds that were in the sink. The ones that Tony Stark yelled about in Civil War. You all know the ones I'm talking about. He helped answer the phones. And he sorted packages in a shiny Avengers Tower mailroom. Thank you, everybody on Instagram saying Deadpool's amazing. You all earned extra brownie points. And Santa will be coming down your chimney tonight. Hi, Wade. Hi, Stella. All right, next page. Buddy hadn't forgotten about Wolvie, the girl from the store, our beloved Wolverine. On Christmas Eve, they skipped down the sidewalk together. Oh, they're about to learn the true meaning of Christmas. He showed Wolvie a sparkly Christmas tree in a shop window. And Wolvie showed Wade the biggest tree in all of New York City. Was it a Christmas tree or something else? We really don't know. Oh, it must be a Christmas tree from the picture. Deadpool's always sharing Christmas stories, especially if you look at Disneyland. Just today it's on TikTok. We're trying something different. So romantic, I know. I do miss Wolverine. Wade was excited and he interrupted a big meeting at his dad, Happy Hogan's office, to tell him all about Wolvie. I'm in love, and I don't care who knows it. But Buddy's dad, Happy Hogan, didn't want to be interrupted and screamed, "You can't be a part of the Avengers, you have to leave!" And so Wolverine heard that scream and then died, and then Deadpool had to become Marvel Jesus and do all this weird stuff at the TVA to make it work. It was a bit of a stressful 48 hours for Deadpool and Wolverine, let me tell you. An Avenger in your heart, thank you. Sonia, is that your name? You're on brownie points for Christmas. You're going on the nice list for next Christmas, because Christmas already passed at this point. But I'm keeping you on the list, don't forget. Wade was so upset that he decided to run away and he left a note behind. I'm sorry I ruined your lives and killed 11 people before I left the Avengers Tower. I don't belong here. I don't belong anywhere. I'll never forget you. Love, Buddy Pool. Marvel Jesus is the reason for the season. That's right, buddy. Now let me tell you, when Spidey told me to read this story, I was just going to read the book like normal, but I figured, what the heck? Let's add a little Deadpool twist to it. It's much more fun that way. Oh, when Dogpool told his dad that Wade was missing, Happy Hogan felt sorry for yelling at him, but he knew what he had to do. Happy's boss, Tony Stark, didn't want him to leave the meeting, but Happy said that nothing was more important than finding his son, Wade Wilson. Deadpool twist is way better. I agree with you there. I don't even know what your username is. It's cool. You got some little acronyms in there. But he was on his way out of the city. But then he saw something strange overhead. It was Santa's sleigh. And it was falling from the sky. Oh no. Happy is bad at keeping track of Wade and Peter, I know. Can you believe it? Oh, your name in Arabic. I love that. It's hard to see through the eye holes sometimes. Buddy found Santa in Central Park. My sleigh can't fly without Christmas spirit. Ugh. We can't use Cerebro. We need the help of an elf. There's no Christmas spirit anymore. But Santa, I'm not an elf. Wade, you're more of an elf than anyone I've ever met. Suddenly, Happy and Dogpool burst through the trees. They'd been looking for Buddy Pool, all night. Buddy, I need to apologize to you, Happy said. You've been right about everything, and I don't want you to leave. You're my son, and I love you. Brings a tear to a Deadpool's eye. I love you too, Dad. And dare I use the F word? We're a family. Who's better, the X-Men or the Avengers? Well, I have been a part of the X-Men in training, I will say. But the Avengers, they've just got it all. They've got the big shiny lights. They've got Tony Stark. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to say that X-Force is the answer that you're going to get. Because that's better than both of them. Plus, we've got Sugar Bear. All right. Marvel pays better. You've got that right. While Buddy helped Santa fix the sleigh, Happy and Dogpool joined Wolvie in the crowd outside Central Park. They needed to help people find their Christmas spirit, and Wolvie remembered something that Buddy had told her. The best way to spread Christmas cheer is to hold up a boombox above your head and play Christmas carols through somebody's window to win them back. And that's just what Wolvie did. After some prompting and fourth wall breaking because he refused to do it because he is scruff and hates doing everything and stood there complaining, going, no, we can't do that because I hate being a part of this franchise. And I said, how do you know what a franchise is? You don't break the fourth wall. And he said, I'm just quoting you. And that's how it came to be. Wolvie is Drovey, Kyra. I hope you see the vision now. Hi, Yukio. One by one, everyone started to sing along to the jukebox. It's working, Wade exclaimed. How many times do I break the fourth wall every day? Too many to count at this point. More than a lot of other things I do. Everyone except for Walter. Dad, you have to sing, said Dogpool. Because Walter is technically Happy Hogan. And Happy joined in, Santa Claus is coming to town. Except his voice sounded much worse because he doesn't have the angelic Marvel Jesus voice that I have. Happy Hogan's not big into the musical theater aspect of things. But you know who is? Wolvie. He's quite a great showman. We all need the Christmas spirit. I agree, Leona. My good friends back there are taking pictures of me. I gotta give them a little wave. Just in the nick of time, Santa's sleigh soared through the sky. There was so much Christmas spirit in the air that the sleigh flew all the way to the top of Avengers Tower. Or I guess in this picture, the Empire State Building, but it's all the same. Why do I follow Spider-Man? Because he's one of my favorite people in the world. We're best friends. Truly. The next day was Christmas. It was the best Christmas ever. Because Wade got to spend it with his whole X-Men family, doing all of his favorite things. Stabbing people with baby knife, hanging out with Mary Poppins, snuggling up with Wolvie on the couch, and singing Yuletide songs in his ear. It was a great Christmas. And that's the story of how, with a little help, Deadpool the elf managed to save Christmas because he was Marvel Jesus and his spirit saved all of the MCU. The end. And that's the story of how Wolvie and I fell in love during Christmas time, because that's the most magical time of the year, next to Valentine's Day and Labor Day and President's Day and the 4th of July and all the other holidays. The perfect story for our holiday season, don't you agree? Make it into a Hallmark movie. I know, all they'd have to do is, I do have a father who could technically be Santa if we changed the plot a little bit, and it would go perfectly. And we just can put it on a Christmas tree farm, and you'd have every plot to every Hallmark movie ever made. It's perfect. We need Team Red. Did someone say Team Red? I would love that. I think that would be great. We really got to get that going. Magneto as Santa? No. I guess that could work, because we did have Charles Xavier as Papa Elf. You all think smarter than I am. I love it. We got to get you on the MCU writing teams. It would be great. Oh, Sugar Bear. Love my Sugar Bear. Deadpool wearing a Hawkeye sweater is my Roman Empire. It's mine, too. That's why I decided to wear this for the live. I thought it would go great with the theme of the holiday spirit. Plus, I told my friend Kate Bishop that I'd wear it to help promote their branding. She's been all about that lately. I'm sure you've seen. She talks about it in every Hawkeye episode ever made. All right. I think what I'll do for now is for the next 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes or so, I'll take some questions. And then Wolfie and I have a hot date, so we got to get going after that. You lost a Lego piece. Well, I hope you don't step on it. That would be pretty bad. Team Red and the Hawkeyes. That would be a pretty great team. The new X-Force. X-Force. Has anyone seen Domino, by the way? Been looking for her for a while. She was on X-Force for quite a bit, and then she disappeared out of the blue one day. Probably just her luck, because I know she pretty much hated me, so. That's usually how it goes. How do I breathe with the mask on all the time? I don't. I'm constantly choking on my own mask. It's great. Just don't get yourself, don't fall off a bridge and get yourself waterboarded like I did. Though I will say that's not the worst thing that's happened to me in the last year, so we'll take it. You got a lot of Deadpool stuff for Christmas? That's because I'm the best, obviously. Glad to see that you're all enjoying the Deadpool and Wolverine year of existence. I hope you continue this hype into the next year. Did you all watch the Marvel Assembled episode? That's just a big fourth wall in itself right there. Pretty sure Hugh Jackman even makes a few appearances. X-Men and Xmas, it goes pretty well together, I do gotta say. You have a sweater of me and Wolverine holding hands with hearts. Send me the link. I would love to get that for myself. Wolvie and I, we're going steady. He just doesn't know it yet. I have plans to tell him. Comments are coming in a little slower now. Can I breathe properly? Who knows? Do I prefer Tony Stark or Robert Downey Jr.? Well, considering Tony Stark is dead in the MCU, I guess my only option is to say Robert Downey. Thoughts on Ryan Reynolds? He's very handsome. Looks kind of like, what's his name? Nice Pool. Turned that guy into a shooting bag. Had a lot of target practice on that guy. Am I going to be back in Avengers Campus soon? If I had my way, Kevin Feige would have me there every day. So I sure hope so. But I guess I'm taking a little break after the holiday season because I got to go work on some stuff with the X-Men. We're trying to get the X-Men in the MCU if you couldn't figure it out. I'm pretty much the closest they've got right now. How do I feel about Wolverine having a kid? Are you talking about that little girl with the 2 claws? I mean, she was fine. She helped us fight Goliath, so I'll give her a point. Or are you talking about Deadpool, because we're both her papa? I'm her new papa. But Wolvie's also her adopted papa. Vanessa or Wolverine? I'm not going to pick. That's a horrible question. Next question. How's Gambit? That beautiful, handsome man. I still never know what he's saying. But you know, he's doing great. He's living it up. Hopefully he comes back in the MCU. They released some clip of him the other day that they didn't put in the movie. And I said, why didn't you put this in here? We're going to have a chat with Kevin Feige. I'm going to have to get to the bottom of this. Where is Deadpool? Sleeping in the corner. Deadpool had a very big day on Christmas. She got 8 new bones. And not from a present. She regenerated herself. I was so proud of her. Where's my double-plated golden dual pistols? Hidden somewhere where none of you people would be able to find it because I know you're going to try and take them the way that I did. I can't believe it. I can't believe that Nice Pool died like that. It was just such a shame to see him go. And then I had to adopt Deadpool, become her new papa. I was the savior to that cute little guy. That cute little dog. My favorite little pup. Always hanging around. You're not going to find my golden dual pistols. Don't even bother trying. Why was Thor crying? Why is Thor crying? If any of you know, can you please tell me? Because it's been hurting my heart for the last almost 6 months. I can't do this anymore. Of course I'm mad I'm not in Marvel Rivals. We have to have a chat with Kevin Feige about that too. Who's signing off on these things? Definitely not me. If I were in charge of the MCU, all of this would have been fixed already. That's all I'm saying. Any tips for training dogs? My dog is ruining my mom's cord. Well, see, the thing is, that's kind of what you want. That's kind of what Deadpool does too, and we just let it happen. It's more fun that way. Where did I get my Hawkeye sweater? My good friend Kate Bishop gave it to me to wear for this live today. She said, Wade, I need you to promote my brand. Hawkeye needs help. He's just a guy with a stick and a string. And I said, I'll take it from here. Because I have the face of an angel. And people just love that. And if I were your brand, you'd get all the free promotion you need because everybody loves Deadpool. We all knew this. Gossip Girl or Gilmore Girls? Well, obviously, I have to pick Gossip Girl. My favorite show. Do I remember Peter? Of course I do. Are you talking about Peter Parker or Peter Poole? My sugar bear. Oh, I love him so much. I think of you and Sugar Bear every time I eat ketchup and mustard. That will be Wolvie. And thank you very much. Ketchup and mustard is our favorite type of color scheme. You can't see it, but I'm winking through the mask. Parker. Of course I remember Parker. He's all over the news. All the time. This feels like a FaceTime. I'm glad. That's what we want this to be like. A fourth wall should never feel forced. And this one's very... We're in on it here. We're all best friends here. Seeing a lot about Peter Parker. How cool from 1 to 10 is Kate Bishop IRL? Well, she's a 10. Obviously, 11. She watched me completely explode a helicopter once. That was cool. We've been on a few adventures, her and I. I met you at Disneyland. Well, I'm so glad. I hope it was the best interaction you've ever had. I know Wanda. I know of Wanda. Those witches scare me. But the good news is, even if they did blast me, I would just regenerate, so it doesn't really matter. This is why I need to be on the Avengers. I am a great asset. But that Happy Hogan, he said, "Get out of my office, Wade. It's not for you." And then I cried all day. Do I have any specific way of celebrating the new year? Wolvie and I, we're going to hang out, watch the ball drop in more ways than one. It'll be great. You saw me riding a unicorn at Avengers Campus. That was the coolest, yeah. I do like a good unicorn. It's great to have a way to ride into campus. Where am I joining the Avengers? We need you as leader. I know, that's what I've been saying. Have I met Jess many times? I kept saying to her, why am I only showing up in your skits wearing a red shirt? That's kind of sad. So she finally got a mask, and I think it's working a lot better. A little sweatier, but, we're working on it the best we can. Lack of comments is boring me here. Jess is the coolest. Oh, that's nice, yeah. But not as cool as Deadpool. Obviously. All right, folks. Well, Wolvie and I, we've got our day planned out for us. We're going to go see Wicked at the movies, so I'm on a little bit of a time crunch right here because that does have a very particular showing we're going to see. So I better get going. But thank you all so much for coming to Santa Pool's story of the day and the very last Spidey stories of 2024. This will be back next year like it always is. It's a fun thing that Peter likes to do with you all. My good friend Spidey, thanks for inviting me. Really appreciate it. And I hope you all have a great new year and take care of yourselves. All right. See you all later. Bye-bye. Bye, TikTok.